For almost a year, I completely misunderstood this dream. It's a dream I had on my 40th birthday, 9 months before my late husband passed. And at the time, I thought it was rehashing my experience at Publix. I now know it was preparing me for the most difficult year of my life. But here's what's fascinating: the apocalypse wasn't the scary part. We're going to jump into this dream quick, but first, I want to talk to those who are new here. My name is Nicole, and I believe that your dreams are decoding your future. I come on here each week to help you learn your own dream language so you can begin to decode your destiny. If this is a conversation that you like, please hit the like button and subscribe so you know when new videos come out and you tell the algorithms that people like you like content like this. Like I said, this is from my 40th birthday, September 1st of 24. Dark night outside. I need green onions to finish the recipe to feed the people. I go to Publix and force the single door open. I think Brian won't mind my intrusion. Someone is lying flat on the floor, stomach down, with a bath towel over his face. I think it must be Brian guarding the entrance, and I ask if he's okay. The person lifts his body from the torso up with the dark towel still fully covering his face. And when he removes the towel, it's not Brian, but one of the male minor cashiers that works there. I tell him what I'm doing, and I pass him on my way down the hall into the store. I'm surprised because there is a lot of construction men working away in there, and they aren't worried at all about the noise during this apocalypse. The work they are doing is beautiful. Bright white subway tile on the wall and bright white rich opulence all around. I begin to search for the green onion. I don't know how I will get home. I'm holding all of my stuff. Then suddenly there's a bus that can take us all home. People start piling out of the depot to get on this bus. I pick up all of my stuff, which is kind of cumbersome, and I move forward. I get distracted by something twice and then realize both times that I'm going to miss the bus. And I pick up my stuff and then I pick my stuff back up both times and move towards the bus. I finally get to the door that leads outside to the bus, and the driver looks friendly at me. And I believe there is enough room for me still, thank the Lord. Now, I did not understand what this dream meant in the beginning, but oftentimes I'm finding that the dreams we understand the least are the ones for the future that we're going to need most. I need to get green onions to finish this recipe. Pay attention to that. To finish the recipe, not start it. The dream starts with something that's already cooking, something that's already underway. Something that's been years in the making. And now it needs one final ingredient. That sounds like the smallest part of the dream, but it is actually the most important part of the dream. What it is showing is that this podcasting, these dreams that I have been stewarding for 6+ years now, that is the recipe that I had already started to feed the people. Now, during this apocalypse, I need the final ingredient. I wasn't starting a new story. I'm finishing one that had already been percolating, had already been growing, had already been developing for years. That's what that's representing. This dream is about finishing touches on something that has already been my territory. Now, here is where dream language doesn't always make sense. It's an apocalypse. I'm literally forcing my way, sneaking my way into this store during an apocalypse, and it's dark outside. So it's not rainbows and butterflies yet. Look at what we find inside. We find work being done. Not just a little bit of work, not quiet work, not repairing little things here and there during the apocalypse. No, it is massive, beautiful, white, bright work getting done during this apocalypse. Instead of death and fear and destruction, there's quiet workers, there's beauty, there's progress happening inside this store. Now, place that into my reality. The apocalypse is the death of my late husband and what appears to be the end of the reality that I understood and had planned out for myself. It appears to be the end of everything, right? An apocalypse. Yet, on the inside, what really happened, that is the crux. On the inside, I began a whole new world, right? I began putting the finishing touches on what had been building in my dream journals for 6 years. I began building community. I got into podcasting. I built opportunities. I built relationships. I began learning how to do storytelling. This dream was showing me that the apocalypse season was not about destruction. It was showing renovation. Now, I anticipated meeting the store manager of this Publix and explaining what I was going to do. I anticipated meeting leadership, but it's not Brian. It's a young worker, meaning the help that I thought, or the authority that I thought, or the expected outcome that I anticipated is not what I got. It's come from unexpected places. It's come from podcast guests, creators, and entrepreneurs, and unexpected new relationships in my life. Basically, the people that helped me survive this apocalyptic season were very unexpected in a lot of ways. Now, let's look at the bus part of that dream. That bus, I need that bus to bring me home. But I have too much stuff. I'm carrying too much baggage, too much responsibility. And that distracts me, not just once, but twice. And that can go two ways. First, the two can be the two careers I went into prior to my husband's death, right? I went to Publix and I tried to go back into my old ways. I tried to get right back into leadership there, right? And then I went to Walmart. And I, again, in my mind thought, okay, if this is where life is taking me, then I'm going to go back to the old path. I'm going to go back to the old authority, right, Brian? And I'm going to go back into leadership. I'm going to go run a store somewhere. But that's not what happened. Both of those things carried too much baggage and they were a distraction. Now, that doesn't mean they weren't necessary. They were necessary, but they were a distraction. They were not what was going to get me home. And I almost missed the bus. And the dream wasn't asking, was I going to make it through this season? It already knew. The dream already knew that I would. My job wasn't to create a path home. My job was simply to get on the bus. Just get on board. The green onions, the apocalypse, the recipe, the construction, the tiles, the bus, the driver, they all show where I thought this dream was preparing me for tragedy, but instead, I know it was preparing me for what came after. And the most beautiful part of this dream wasn't that it preemptively showed me the apocalypse coming. It's that it showed me the beauty that would be built inside that apocalyptic year. If you made it all the way through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel is only here because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, I have a free community for that. See the link below.